Can you hear me back there? Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. The time is now 6:04. I'd like to open up this informational meeting for Central Region Town Hall. Unfortunately, we don't have enough members for a quorum on the panel, but still, just for the sake of order, I'm going to call roll. Mrs. Becky Schwinger, she is absent. Austin Pratt, I am here.
Atlas Pearson, I'm here.
And other members, John Carlson and Priest Martinez are also absent tonight. So, going right along, we are unable to take a vote on our consent agenda approval of July 8th, 2024 regular meeting minutes because, again, no quorum. So we'll have to take care of that in October. Moving to agenda item 3, discussion and possible action, including acceptance of an update from Member Pratt regarding local shoreline area plan survey. So on this, I can just discuss and let everyone know, we have I'm gonna mess up what the acronym stands for, LAPAC, throughout the County of Lake, which is effectively taking in plans from each smaller community in part, and through the next week we have a survey out there. Unfortunately, it's just online. If anyone in the room wants a copy of the link, I actually wrote it down just now. It is surveymonkey.com, and for any listeners, it is /uncapitalized R /capitalized Q P L H F 6 and capital W with no spaces. And if you go to that link, you will have about 39-40 questions. They do take a little time to read through, but most of them are multiple choice, and a lot of the juicier bits of town planning and such for the next this document for approximately the next 2.5 decades till about 2050. So there are entry boxes where you can give your input, like an essay question. So if you're not satisfied with all of the multiple choices of the multiple choice questions, and there are options about every 3 or 4 questions that you can give your input. And so for that reason, I also suggest everyone to embark in it, hopefully before it closes on the 13th. This is I believe the large mechanism through which LAPAC will be gathering that info from the communities to then have myself and other member, I believe, Betsy Kahn, some other members from LAPAC in the North Shore area to then solidify into our local area plans for Lucerne. And those who may also just want a copy of the link, I can give them to you at the end of the meeting. Other than that, jumping to item 4 on agenda, discussion including acceptance of an update from Supervisor Crandall.
And so I know since we don't have a quorum, since it just says update and it doesn't specify, I think I can go over this, and I know that people will be glad to hear about it. The Lucerne Harbor project, the bids were open last Wednesday. The mandatory waiting period for potential bid protests ended, when was that? So it would be last Thursday. So when he sent me this email, it was last week, so it was the Wednesday before when the bids were opened. And so this ended last Thursday, the protests. So now they're processing the construction contract for approval with the Board of Supervisors, anticipated at the end of September, and coordinating for construction monitoring with Robinson and a consultant archaeologist. So project looks like it's coming, at the end of September, and should be moving forward, like I said, in October. So just giving you that update. When it comes in September, I think we should make sure that, it's on the timed items or at least on non-timed, so it's not on consent. I do not want, that project's been going for some time. We want to make sure that people have a chance to ask questions and hear more about it. So just end of September, it's coming to probably the 20, let me look at this real quick. Calendar so that we have a better Yeah, we don't, it's not, the 24th, it's probably the 24th, because when he said end of September, I would think it's that. Because I know the budgets are, there might be that day too, so it could be either 17th or the 24th. This week's the 10th. I can make sure you all know and post it on the Lucerne CR.T.H page or in my page as well, so you guys could see that. And I could just email the Alpine Senior Center so you guys can get it out. Yeah. Yeah, because I know it's just, that's been talked about for quite some time, and I still knocking on wood because I want to see that thing move forward. But that's going in that direction there, so it's some pretty good news. Just notified Austin earlier. I took a ride with one of the roads workers today. We were looking at the conditions because, of course, Glenn came. What was it, last month or so, the month before? Glenn March, the new public works director, and had a talk with everybody, and there was discussion about the roads conditions, also the trees and the vegetation that are on the side of the roads, things like that. So I was able to get a good look at some of that. So it was good follow-up. It was good follow-up to take that ride around and show them these roads, and I emphasize these two, of course. So. Because I know that Glenn's putting together a capital improvement plan, and so in doing so, just trying to determine what would go on that list and things like that, you know. So I know for my point, I want to make sure that, you know, some roads, if not all, could get done, but you know how that goes. But glad that he came, and glad he let me follow up with one of the employees to have a ride and check these out, because I haven't had that before. So. Let's see. So there was a tobacco ordinance passed, I want to say last month. I know that there was some confusion on it. Some folks thought it was like a tax or something. It's not a tax. It's just around public buildings, so, and parks. So if people are in the parks smoking or whatever, the ordinance covers the distance and what can be done there. Because I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, they're taxing them, or oh, they're not allowing smoking. No, that's not the case. It's just to control where and close to public buildings as well, like when it comes to county buildings and whatnot. So yeah, just clearing that up too. I think I'll let, I know you all probably came for a reason, so I want to make sure that no, just information in general. Yeah, no, it was adjourned last month. Yeah. Some people were in Hawaii, and
It was an awful trip, if we're being honest.
yeah.
Anyway,
There are regulars.
It was really bad.
Yeah, so that's what I have for now. The budget's coming forward. Copter's kicking off. It should be kicking off at the end of this month because of the budget. Once that's passed, Copter will take place. They're supposed to be posted up in the building over by the fire department on 7th. So they'll be using that building again. Copter, that's for the community-oriented police targeted restoration. And so it'll be 2 code enforcement and 2 deputies. So that, yeah. Right. Yeah, so the goal is to utilize that office and target the areas of Nice and Lucerne primarily, but they can still go off into other areas like Upper Lake or Lower Lake or Kelseyville, wherever, but their ideal place would be like right back here. So it's starting now. Once the budget's passed, that's when we're finalized, it's finalized this month. So, and it's the 24th when we finalize it, so it should, when the Lucerne Harbor goes through, that should go through as well. So, yeah. Is that going to be daily? Yeah, it's for 3 years. It's a budget that's been passed for 3 years. So Copter will be in place for Nice and Lucerne for 3 years. Whereas we had the roadmap task force that was in Clear Lake Oaks. That took place for, I want to say, about a year and a half or 2, and it was pilot. So yeah. And so because of what happened with that project or that task force, they decided to enhance it. And they learned that by subjecting them just to the roadmap task force in Clear Lake Oaks, it kind of limited their activity in other places or to help other places. They just stayed in Clear Lake Oaks. And so, I mean, even though it did a lot of good because they were able to arrest and take, cannabis, drugs, weapons, or, all those type of things, and the code enforcement had a lot of activity, and they cut plants, and they, had a lot of, what do you call those, liens and whatnot. They brought them to the board, post abatements, that's what they're called, post abatements and things like that. So that took place as well. But that's going to be the goal in these areas. As we know, Lucerne Hills and some of these homes that we're all constantly driving by and having issues with, here and in Nice, those should be targeted. And that's what targeted restoration, the cool name copter, so.
So does that, so when this happens, say probably next month,
Mhm.
then does that mean that like if somebody has, because I know some people are gonna ask, does that mean that if they have a problem or need code enforcement,
Yeah.
that they can go to that building and make line right there?
And that's what was proposed in the whole,
Okay.
yeah.
They're gonna really wanna know.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and that's what's gonna be brought up at the budget too, because it'll come up and I'll be able to say, hey, so are they gonna be using the building? Because that's what was proposed. The other thing about it is, the copter budget program isn't going to be, it's not paying for that, but the sheriff's department has it in their maintenance, budget to take care of that, so. That's really what I have for now, unless there's questions.
Can you give me the formal name one more time?
Community-oriented policing and targeted restoration. Copter.
COPTR.
And I'm just going to put it out there, if anyone knows, because I'll probably be going to, we have 2 mobile home parks locally in Lucerne that are connected to one that's in Clear Lake Oaks. And this group that's having issues in Clear Lake Oaks, I've been meeting with them. Their payments are being enhanced for capital improvement type of expenses, but then there's also other issues. Apparently this group's had, the group that owns the properties now have had issues in the past, like in Willits and other places. So trying to get a coalition together with all the folks that are dealing with this, because we have people that are in senior parks. Yeah, so yeah, working on it with the county as well to try to find some ways to address, especially for seniors when it comes to rent stabilization. So,
Excellent.
yeah, and I don't know, William, I don't know if you got a story out on that. I think he was at the meeting where they were talking about it. So,
Well, thank you for the update. I think we'll be able to accept it at this time. Let's see, item 5 on the agenda is, let's see, I'm skipping some words here, including acceptance of an update, regarding the Lucerne Alpine Senior Center. Sorry about that. Thanks, Charlie.
Okay, just put it out there, our thrift store is open Wednesday through Saturday right now from 11 to 3. And but bring donations between 11 and 2. Right now they're doing a green bag sale, which is, they like to use the green bags you get from Century because they're kind of heavy and good bags. And there's a limit. I mean, you can't pile it up over the top of the bag, but and it's clothes only, but no shoes or no purses. But other than that, it's fill it up with clothes and for $6. I'm not sure how much longer that's going to go. I think what they're trying to do is mainly summer clothes, so when they shift over to the winter clothes. In the senior center itself here, we're open 10 to 1. Tuesday through Friday, and we do lunches from 11 to 12:30. And lunches is seniors 60 and up. We ask for a suggested $5 donation But they don't have it as and if you're under 60, you can come for lunch, but you pay $10. And right now, for activities, we have a crafts class on the third Thursday of each month from 10 to 11, and all the materials for that are provided by the library. And we have guitar lessons every Thursday from 12 to 1. Tai Chi every Friday from 2:30 to 3:30. AA meetings from 6 to 7. And then we're going to sponsor again, we did last year, we had a senior driving class here that CHP puts on. And we'll have sign-up sheets for it. That's going to happen on October 16th at noon. And a lot of insurance companies, auto insurance companies, will, the reason we sign up is then you'll get a certificate. They'll have it ready to go. And we had about 20-25 people last year. And for us, the certificate's good for 3 years. And for my wife and myself, it made $70 a year a piece deduction on our auto insurance. So it's worth coming to.
What is the date?
October 16th at the next town hall. It'll be before then. I'll probably by then have a sign-up sheet, and then we'll also have a sign-up sheet probably maybe next week for people to sign up for the class.
How long is the course?
It's kind of, I think it went for a little over an hour last time, but at least an hour, because there was a lot of, it's really interesting because some people there had just gotten, when you turn a certain age, you have to go take a little refresher course and stuff. And almost everybody in there said they flunked it 2-3 times. They went to get a book down there. All the books were in Spanish, and so they had to go online. They took the practice test. None of the questions on the practice test were on the test they took. A lot of the questions were about for semi drivers. And so anyway, a lot of that, the CHP guy said he was he appreciated getting all that so they could try to straighten it out. But yeah, and the only the other thing is we're having a breakfast, a fundraising breakfast on the 28th from 9 to 12 down here. $10. Kids and children 10 and under, $5. And the only other thing is, since the last meeting, we're cooling and a warming center, and working with the Red Cross on that. And not last month, but the month before, when we had all that heat around the 4th of July, we were open here between the 2 weeks, 7 total days. And we said there's no real guidelines out there from anybody, so we just set our own guidelines. So for heating, anytime it's going to be 100 or over for 2 days in a row, then we're opening up for a cooling center till 5 o'clock if people are still here till 5 o'clock. Last time, turned out the lights, put the big TV up and watched a couple of movies in here. So, and we're getting just at the next board meeting, we'll probably set up guidelines too for warming. And I imagine we're going to set up something along the same lines, like I'm nothing to hold us to it or whatever, but somewhere along the lines of, like, if it's going to be 32 or below for 2 days in a row and stuff, then we'll be open in the mornings till 10 o'clock when we open for stuff. I'm just guessing on that now, but we'll try to get something squared away. And that's about it.
Great, thank you, Charlie. Let's see, moving to item 6, we can open it up for public comments. Any member from the public or anyone in our Zoom potentially? Oh, so they're not on Zoom. I assume I see no hands raised here. So I'll close public comments for this information meeting and going to near last item, item 7, announcements. Or any other special announcements from anybody or any members of the panel, anybody in the community? Announcements? No? All right. Then time is 6:24. Item 8, call this C.R.T.H information meeting to an adjournment. Do I hear, I don't have to take a vote on that, do I? All right. 6:24 is adjourned. I said it. I get to be a tyrant for this one.